We have a presence in 9 different countries, starting with Mexico, Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Argentina, Brazil, and Chile. So we have a huge presence within the region. We have been expanding our presence in the region. Clearly, Mexico and Brazil are our largest opportunities in terms of the amount of investment and expansion that we can do. Brazil, we have a relatively small footprint in Brazil. I mean, it's smaller than we want. Mexico is a public company, so we can probably talk a bit more about them. They have just announced a few days ago that they're gonna increase something that may be about 15% the number of square footers that we'll be building every year, and that may give you a feeling about the size of the opportunity that we see in a country like Mexico. And clearly Mexico is probably just a bit about the look and feeling of what we see in Latin America as an opportunity. You know, our biggest challenge is people. You know, I mean, we have to find a way to be ready for our growth. I believe that we have set clearly our priorities and alignment as a region, and one of them is people. I mean, we have to develop people because, I mean, people is key for us. We are very intensive in labor compared to other industries, so our dependency of people is key. So we need to have the appropriate size of talent and as well the quality of the talent that we are looking for. Well, we have a vision that is saving money live better is basically, you know, the way that we summarize that, you know. And I believe after that we have some principles as a company. We have three principles as a company. One is service to the customer, respect for the individual, and strive for excellence. All of this in an integrity environment. And then we have what we call, you know, the operational difference between a Walmart and other retailers, and that is EDLP, everyday low prices, everyday low cost, and merchant oriented, and a lot of things that we are part of the company. So that is the way that we define our DNA as a company that make us different compared to others. We don't have a secret formula, as probably many other industries. We don't have any kind of trademark. So what we have is operational principles that help us in order to create a differentiation between us and other retailers. We are seeing a lot of emerging middle class in every of the countries. I believe that if you take a look about the economies in general in Latin America, all the economies are doing much better than they were in probably the last 10 years. As a matter of fact, if you take a look about the economies in Latin America today after the crisis of 2008, I mean, most of the countries are already past that, you know, I mean, because, I mean, they kept a lot of discipline in the way that they run their countries. And it's very encouraging to see that the economy is back. The growth is back in basically all the countries where we have presence. And I think also we are seeing a new consumer that is emerging. You know, a lot of people is moving from the base of the pyramid to the top of the middle, in the direction to the top of the pyramid. So we're seeing a new middle class emerging in Latin America. Just to give you a feeling about that, we believe that in Brazil, a country like Brazil, in the next upcoming years, 30 million new customers will be jumping to the middle class in the next few years in Brazil. So that may give you a feeling about the size of the consumption in Mexico. I mean, in Latin America, Mexico is not a different story. You have a lot of people coming from the bottom of the pyramid to the middle class, and that basically means that we have to change our value proposition for those customers that will be jumping into the market very soon. And I believe that we are kind of an enabler that helps the consumer to moving from the bottom of the pyramid in the direction to the top, and to facilitate that transition from being there to a middle class. We are a good enabler for that. So I think that clearly we are, you know, setting new standards in many of the markets because our logistics, because our systems, because our capacities, and as a value proposition, we are changing a bit the way that we do retail into the region. We as a company has decided to go after sustainability. As a matter of fact, we call sustain agility, you know, because, I mean, we want to do this quicker than slow, you know, and we believe that we need to move forward and quicker the way that we have done this in the past. And we cannot compromise, you know, our expansion with our impact into the environment that we are living. So we want to try to have an expansion, but at the same time keep our neutral impact to the environment. That is the way that we are looking, and that is our commitment as a company. In the top of that, we are working with most of our markets in Latin America in order to achieve some goals that we may be facing locally in every market. And I believe that we have made a lot of progress in many areas. In the case of Mexico, we have made a lot of progress in water conservation, in energy conservation. We have a couple of stores that we are fed up by solar panels. We have a wind farm that supplies probably something like 30% of our consumption in Mexico City of energy. So we have made a lot of progress. We are very involved in Brazil in preservation with the Amazons that we believe are very important, linked as well an agriculture program in order to make the farmers to be more productive and to keep doing in a way that probably will be friendly with the environment. So that is one of the biggest initiatives that we have as a company.